20 minutes after receiving the worst phone call of his life, Gary Foster pulled his Corolla into the parking lot of McCann Medical Center. He followed the signs directing him to the emergency room and came to a stop in an open stall, slamming on the brakes hard enough to momentarily lock his seatbelt. He turned off the car, threw open the car door, sprinted to the ER entrance. Inside, 3 women in green scrubs stood behind the check-in counter. Gary stared at them for a moment, heart thundering in his chest, every muscle in his 39-year-old body tight with tension. "Someone just called me about my wife," he said. The oldest of the group, a woman with cropped black hair who looked to be in her 50s, stepped out from behind the counter. She asked for Gary's name, then identified herself as Abby Fredrickson, the caller. Gary followed her to an empty nearby waiting area and sat down next to her. "Right now, we don't know much more than what I told you on the phone," Abby said. She lightly touched Gary's knee. "Your wife was at Town Shop Mall. Apparently, she just collapsed and started convulsing. Someone called 911 and she was brought here by an ambulance. She was conscious when she arrived and she's undergoing tests right now." Gary slowly shook his head. Not even a half hour ago he'd received the call. He'd been working at the outdoor clothing retailer he owned with his brother, Rod. Just a normal afternoon at the store, spent putting away inventory and helping the occasional customer, when his cell phone rang, displaying a local 989 Michigan number, one he didn't recognize. Pure terror had settled over him like a suffocating blanket as he listened to the story of his wife's, Beth's, sudden collapse. After the call, he drove straight to McCann Medical Center. "What?" Gary said. The word trailed off. He swallowed and felt his Adam's apple bob in his throat. "What happened?" "Beth collapsed at the I know," he said. "But why?" Abby shook her head and shrugged. "We'll know more after the testing." "Can I see her?" "She's having a CT scan right now. You can see her once she's finished. It should only be a few minutes." Gary opened his mouth, but no words came. He ran a hand through his thinning brown hair and massaged his temples, pausing for a moment to compose himself. He just wanted to be alone, wanted to absorb this horrific news in private. But there was one final question he needed to ask, one question he had to have an answer to. "Abby," Gary said. He paused, glanced down at his hands, unable to look her in the eye. "The doctors know Beth is pregnant, right?" "Yes," she said. "They noticed the baby bump right away." "Is the baby—" "We don't know. We'll know more soon. I'm sorry." Gary slumped down farther in the chair and exhaled. He could not comprehend how his life had been upended in such a short amount of time. "Let me know when you hear from the doctors," he said. "Of course. Please come get me if you have more questions," Abby said. She walked back to the check-in counter. Gary stared out the window at the light snowflakes lazily falling in the parking lot, accumulating on the pavement, sprinkling the windshields of parked cars with an early March dusting. He saw his reflection in the glass. His face was numb with fatigue, his eyes distant. It was the expression of a man who'd had his soul crushed, the look of a man who could do nothing but helplessly wait to find out whether the unthinkable had happened.